Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. From the Smoke and Mirrors Network, it's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Coming up, we talk with Maddie McCarty from Consumer Reports about their new test track. I love talking about tracks. Yeah. Is it banked? Is it oval? Is it a drag strip? We're going to find out about all of it. Do you have chicanes? Yeah, all of those things. I got to drive the 2023 Toyota Tacoma. I'll give you my impression of it. We also have the cruise-in calendar, and later, Conrad has This Week in Auto History. I'll also bring you the stories making automotive news headlines this week. It's just ahead on the first hour of the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong, and thank you very much for joining us. Kind of a gloomy day here in southeast Texas, and it's supposed to rain a little bit later on this morning.
It's supposed to rain all weekend.
Oh, it was raining on me driving in this morning.
Was it?
Just kind of a misty, barely need your wipers on rain. That's
mess up that nice wash job.
It's the most annoying rain.
Yeah. All right, shall we get to it?
Let's do it.
Her name is not Marty. It's Maddie McCarty, and it's a pleasure to have you here from Consumer Reports. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, you bet. We were talking just before we went on the air about her move to Connecticut, where Consumer Reports is based, from Utah, the other side of the country, and the change that she went through. It kind of reminds me of when I moved here way back in the dark ages from Wisconsin to Houston, Texas, and it was like, freak out, because it was a completely different mindset, a change of pace. I didn't know anything about Texas.
How old were you?
I was 11.
Oh.
I was 11. So going through that part of my life and then moving from something that I knew to some place that I had no clue, different lifestyle change and all that. Anyway, another story for another
day.
And
a weather change from Wisconsin.
Completely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we moved here in February. So we left snow up to your yin-yang up there in Wisconsin, and then move down here and go outside to play for recess in the sunshine.
In a T-shirt and shorts.
Yeah, exactly, in 70-degree temperatures. So, yeah, quite a change. Anyway, Maddie, I'm sorry to bother you with all of that. And I know you did not need to know that history. But at any rate, we're excited. I saw a press release a few weeks ago that you guys had opened this new test track. So let's get a little history here. And clearly, this test track is for testing automobiles, but more specifically, this new test track takes it to another level. Let's get a little history here and talk about the old test track.
Absolutely. So our test track has a cool history. It used to be a drag strip for racing back in the old days, I should say, and then in around, I think, the 1980s, Consumer Reports purchased it and repaved it, created new roads, and so now we have the 327 acres of land where we test at least 50 cars a year, and right now we have 6.1 miles of road that we use to test vehicles, which is really exciting. So on this road, we can test 0 to 60 speeds. We can do track handling, hydroplaning, braking, avoidance maneuver, all those fun things, and those really important safety things as well. And with our new addition to our track, which we call our ADAS loop, ADAS loop, we can start to test vehicles, or we can continue to test vehicles that have advanced driver assistance systems on them. So those are the things that can control steering and distance and speed between lead vehicles, all of those fun things that are coming out on vehicles today.
Let me ask you this. Does the track have a portion of it somewhere where you've painted, the lane separation lines in it so the car knows how to handle, lane changes and that sort of stuff?
For like the automated cruise system.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So this is it's a continuous loop to give some more background information, 1.5 miles. And we've created it to match DOT federal and local specs. So it does include those lane lines to help guide the vehicle. And we have a section that has 2 lanes in it. So that will be able to allow us to test automatic lane change and things like blind spot warning.
Yeah, to keep you in between the lines and not wander off.
So what's the big difference between what additions did you bring to the new track that weren't on the old track? I think you mentioned the ADAS system, the ADAS component.
Yes. So previously, we've been testing lane centering and adaptive cruise control since 2018, and we have some reports out on that. And so we were painting lines on our main straightaway, and that allowed us to get a lot of really good data about the performance. And we also were taking these vehicles out on the highways to get a full loop of about an hour's worth of driving information. But now with this closed loop, we're able to do more isolated testing of specific events. And so that allows us to do repeated measures and make sure that the vehicle is behaving consistently and is performing consistently. And so it really gives us this unique opportunity to recreate events that you could find on the real world, but in safe situations. So if the car suddenly turns off its system and starts to run off the road, we can let it do that because there's no one else on the road. It's just us.
Yeah, and I assume that there are no barriers around the road like a racetrack or anything like that to hit.
You see
Sorry, go ahead.
No, they see in the background behind you the track itself. I'm assuming that's the layout.
So this is our original track. So you can see the handling circuit is the curvy part. The main straight is that 6-lane wide area. And then what's not pictured, because we don't have an aerial view yet, I think that's in the works, but we have that loop that goes around on the other side where all of these trees are. So it's hidden away in the woods, but it's very exciting, and it's state of the art at this point. And we have a lot of traffic signs, so we'll be able to test how vehicles are picking up these traffic signs and what they do with that information. Well, so a lot of fun things to play with.
Well, first of all, let me go ahead, Mark.
No, I was going to say that was really interesting. She brought that up because the vehicle I'm driving this week, I noticed that it picks up traffic signs, but it doesn't always drop the traffic sign.
Oh, it hangs on to it?
Yeah, you get into the school zone, you're there until you turn the car off, just a quick example. So I thought that was rather interesting. They're testing those kind of things.
So your car yells at you because you don't make a full stop?
It doesn't do that. It doesn't do that, but I've noticed in a couple of the vehicles that I've had,
Becky does,
that it brings up the stop sign in the dashboard, and then when you go through the intersection, then the stop sign disappears off of it. And it comes up, I guess, I don't know, I guess it depends on your speed, but it does come up on the dashboard, I don't know, at least 100 feet before the stop sign does. And it also brings up speed limit signs, that sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's school zone, and that's what got my attention was the school zone. 5 miles later, I'm still in that school zone. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. She was testing that because we'll have to check on that.
Well, I was going to say that not all cars are created equal. Let me put it that way. When it comes to this sort of stuff, because it's still a developing technology, Maddie.
Exactly. Yes. And we are aware of that. And so when we designed this loop, we designed it so that we can add additional obstacles and events and restructure it however we need to in order to fit whatever technology is coming our way. For example, V2X technology is on its way, hopefully soon, and we have our infrastructure of the loop ready for that. So once it's there, we're ready to go and start testing.
Well, I have to tell you that there was a car that I had, and I'll be honest with you, it was a Cadillac that had the Super Cruise on it. And I was showing it to some friends, and we're running down the Gulf Freeway, which is a freeway here in Houston, and there was a construction zone. Now, here's one for you. It was a construction zone. And the lane stripes had moved, but the car was still picking up where the old stripes used to be. Okay? And then the lane itself, the through lane, moved over to the left, and there was an exit ramp right there. The car didn't know what to do, and it didn't turn off. And I had to steer the car so it wouldn't run into the barrier that split the exit ramp and the main lanes. And I'm sure that that's what you guys do as well.
Yes, exactly. And it's those types of situations where we need to make sure we know what the vehicle is going to do. Is it going to recognize that there is construction zone and that it can't go based off of its previously set GPS data? How's it going to react? And in that situation, it's really good that you were paying attention. But sometimes with these quote unquote hands-free systems, people can check out mentally and they might not be aware and be able to react quickly enough in order to take over, especially since your system, you said, didn't even shut off during that point.
Correct.
And that's a huge hazard.
Right.
So we need to make sure that these, people are paying attention and that these systems are communicating back to the driver of its own limitations and capabilities.
So when you start these tests of these different vehicles, what do you do? I mean, do you have some sort of a book, or is it in the owner's manual? This is what this car will do. This is how it is set up, and it will do this. It won't do that. That sort of thing. I mean, obviously, there's got to be some parameters because every vehicle is different.
Right. Every vehicle's different. And so when we hop in the car, we want to get a first impression of just how everyone else is going to be hopping into a car. So we're going to look at how usable it is. So how easy is it to figure out, okay, this is how I'm going to turn on my cruise control. This is how I'm going to set it and adjust the speed. This is how I'm going to turn on lane centering. And so we want to get that initial experience because that's at the end of the day what the average consumer is going to be experiencing.
Yeah, because nobody reads the danged instruction
manual. No, we know that for certain.
Yeah.
So you don't want to have to go into your manual and let's go searching through it and looking for those little fine print details of how to use your car. You want to be able to hop in and get going.
Right. It's very aggravating at 70 miles an hour to have to pull this book out and start looking at how do I do this.
Unless you have Super Cruise and you can read the book while you're doing it.
Unless you got a barrier with no markings.
And you need a Cadillac to do that.
And all of the additions you made to the new track, was it the drivers that inputted that, or did you have an outside firm brought that design to the new track? How did you guys determine what components you needed to add to the new track?
So we have a really fantastic staff at CR, and so what we did was we just identified which events are most safety critical. So you have lane splits, you have merges, you have off ramps, hills and curves, because these systems rely on cameras that see just like you and I do, but not a high quality. So, and they're also fixed. So they place cameras behind the rear view mirror. And as you're coming up on a hill, for example, it's going to be pointing towards the sky. And it's using those cameras to predict where the lane lines are. So if it cannot see where the lanes are, it has to use its own algorithms to predict. And so that's one of the obstacles that we know these systems are challenged by. So we took these commonly experienced challenges and we fitted them into our track. And then we worked with an official company who does all of the DOT specs to make sure that it's, graded for the right curve and the right speed and all of those things. So we worked in tandem.
It just wasn't a haphazard thing. They did all the research as to.
No. Well, yeah, I was wondering if the input was for the research was done by the test drivers, or if just an outside firm had brought all that.
Well, that's interesting. They brought in basically DOT people to say, okay, this is how we build a road.
This is how
these
we
are the
test it.
These are the markings that we put on it at this particular point in the road. That sort of thing. I find that absolutely fascinating. How long did it take in development?
I actually am not sure how long it took. We started talking about it about 3 years ago. So this is a long time in the making. That's when it was first presented to the board. And so it's finally here 3 years later.
Wow. Well, it's like highway construction in Houston. They've been fixing I-45 for the 25 years I've lived here and still haven't got it right.
You talking about the Gulf Freeway?
Yeah.
Well, it's been since 1962. I can tell you that for sure.
I think people are stealing the road,
Stealing.
and they have to go back and replace
And now
it.
another question, Maddie. On the new segment, do you guys have a component to test the automatic safety braking systems that are on some of the new vehicles?
Yes, so we have been testing that for quite some time now. Automatic emergency braking and forward collision warning. We have an expert who that's one of her main tasks is we have a foam car, and she goes out and she tests it at different speeds and determines at what speed or if it's successful at different speeds.
And if it's unsuccessful, it hits the foam car?
It hits the foam car, and it kind of just like explodes like building blocks, but the car's not hurt and the driver's not hurt, and she has to put it back together and do it again.
Interesting. I can only imagine, once the track because I know that you guys have a huge automotive staff there, and it's probably one of the bigger staffs of the entire Consumer Reports organization. Am I mistaken, or am I true? Right.
We actually are a very lean staff. We have, I think, 27 people.
That's
a
still
lot.
pretty stout, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if you think about it, we do a lot of testing. We do all the avoidance maneuver. We do tire testing. We do child car seat safety testing. The testing of all the vehicle of like comfort and road handling. All of these pieces come together, and so everyone has their own field of expertise, and we all come together and create these reports. And that includes the riders and the the managing staff, and then all the facilities that support us. So we're a close-knit team, and we all work together to do our best to bring this information out there.
I think it's just fascinating. I'd like to go up there and get a tour. Can I do that?
Absolutely, come on by. I'll give you the tour myself.
That would be cool.
Good. And let's see. We'd like to do it in what kind of car do we want to do it in?
I want to do it in the foam car.
In the foam car.
I can make that happen. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So I do have one last question for you. Right
Sure.
behind you, there's an oval piece. Is that the donut track? Is that where you test how well the car does donuts? Right there in that round piece.
Yes, this is our skid pad, but yes, I'm sure.
Mike
Calls them
lives in the
donuts,
60s, so
exact-
it's doing donuts.
Yeah, and she did say back in the old days, the 80s. She did say that.
She did say that.
Oh, man.
I like it.
1930
80s.
Yeah, back in the, I don't know actually how far back it goes. But that's when we purchased it. It was the drag strip long before that.
Do you know the name of the drag strip?
I don't, unfortunately. But if you Google Colchester, Connecticut drag strip, that should pop up.
We'll put our staff of 27 people on there.
Maddie, it's great to talk to you. You've been a delight to talk to, and you get a chance to learn about the new track that you've got there at Consumer Reports. Thank you so much. ConsumerReports.org, I believe, is the website.
Yes, or if you want to learn more about the ADAS loop, you can go to cr.org/ADAS loop.
Awesome. Thank you again.
Perfect.
And be sure and give Kelly Funkhauser our regards, and we hope to talk to you guys again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You bet.
All right.
That was fun.
Maddie McCarty, Consumer Reports. Yeah, it is.
All these young, smart people. You
I know.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't rate at all. What do I know?
Well,
here's the think about this.
Well, I said young, smart. It had nothing to do with us.
How do you get a job like that?
Well, see, that's what I was wondering, because I got 2 girls in high school, granddaughters. One of them, she goes over the car with a fine tooth. Whenever I get a new one, she goes out there. How does this work? And I'm thinking, that might be something she'd be interested in. But how in the world do you? What do you have to do to get to that level?
Right.
It's the interest, because your daughter's an astrophysicist, flies airplanes, all that good stuff. My son's into painting and all that. So,
Yeah, I don't know how you get a job like that. But boy, I'll tell you what, I'm raising my hand for it.
Once we get this out on the podcast, I'm going to make sure she sees it and sees what this young lady's doing. Might inspire her to do something there.
Yeah.
Hey, if you'd like
to move out of the house.
Well, there's that too.
If you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. Our address here is info@inwheeltime.com.
Or you can call us at 567-4209.
867-5309. Yeah. Thank you for that.
1-843-6572.
Whatever. Time now for the cruise-in calendar. These are cruise-ins, cruise-ins that are
This weekend.
Are they this weekend?
Sure.
All right, let's do it.
So Cypress Cars and Coffee at Fairfield Baptist Church is going on today. Cars and Tunes at the Car Squad in Katy, and that's a no entry fee. That's also going on this morning.
To me, cruise-ins should not have an entry fee.
No, I agree. Car shows would have an entry fee.
Correct.
And then Grills and Wheels at Creekstone Outdoor Living off of Rayford Road. So cruise in with your car. They'll be grilling and selling grills and showing you how to
propane accessories. Yeah.
Okay.
do steaks and burgers. Coffee and Cars and the Cookie Factory off of Lucas Drive in Beaumont, Texas.
There you go, guys. Hurry over there.
Electrics and Exotics at the Woodlands at the Hebrews Coffee House off of Oak Ridge Drive in Spring.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you, sir. Time now to check on this hour's car review. I had a chance to drive the 2023 Toyota Tacoma. Comes in these trim levels: SR, the SR5, the TRD Sport, the TRD Off-Road, the Limited, and the TRD Pro. I had the Tacoma Trail 4x4 double cab. Now, I don't know exactly where it falls into all of this. I would assume that it's the TRD Off-Road. Let me look at it. It might be on here.
It's a good-looking truck.
I love this truck, and it is the number one selling what they call midsize or smaller truck. It doesn't actually say which one it is. It's a TRD Performance Exhaust. It's got all these other things on it. So I'm not exactly sure. Tacoma Trail, that's not part of the listing of what it is. It falls under one of those categories.
Yeah, it is one of the trim levels that's
Did you
standalone.
study for this?
I did. Tacoma Trail 4x4 double cab, small pickup truck, seats 5, including the driver. Exterior changes from last year, none. The current model was first introduced in 2016. Exterior features one of the better looking designs among competitors in its class. Equally proportioned wheel openings and body side sculpting. Serious business tailgate and rear lighting. I wrote that. I don't know what that means exactly. Serious business. It looks serious, like a real truck should, in my estimation. Great lighting, front and rear. What I liked, the gold wheels on this set the Trail model apart from all the others. And it's kind of a dark gold. It looked really good. What I liked, what could use improvement, the 4x4 sits a little bit higher than its competitors, but it is kind of an off-road vehicle, so I guess it needs to. Interior highlights: very straightforward design, attractive and serious. I use that term again. Infotainment screen built in with legible icons. Seating is comfortable. The bed is adequate for a smaller size. What I liked, the manly design. It has a manly design.
Seriously.
That's what I put down here. A seriously manly design. What could use improvement? Toyota needs to offer a high premium interior. I wrote that. But I've got another story to tell you about after I do this review. 3.5 liter V6. That's what I had. The entry-level size is a 2.7 liter four-banger available on the SR and the SR5. Our 3.5 liter V6 turned out 278 horsepower, 265 pound-feet of torque. It works for this size vehicle. 6-speed automatic transmission. Tow rating on this is 3,500 pounds. Haul rating 1,560. It got 18 miles per gallon city, 22 highway, combined of 20. I got 17.9 over 209 miles. What I liked about it, that the V6 is adequate for this vehicle. What could use improvement? Fuel mileage and 8 or 10-speed automatic transmission.
Which would help the fuel mileage.
It would, yes. And depending on speed, transmission likes to downshift, and at points it becomes annoying. For instance, if I'm doing 73 miles an hour via the cruise control on the Beltway, which is under the 10 miles an hour over. It tends to downshift going over an overpass.
I'm telling Stephen Wooding on you.
Do that. Do that. Those guys pass me by all the time. Ride and handling, what I liked about it, compliant ride for a truck, which is not unusual because, these newer trucks today have a softer
stiff,
suspension. Yeah. What could use improvement? An air ride option. Maybe I'm going overboard on that, but I think that it would be
Expensive as an option.
But I think that America is ready for that. Base trim price, $40,470. Prices tested, $46,439. Base model price, if you can find one, they start at $28,580. Competitors, the Nissan Frontier starts at $30,670. That was recently redone. Really, it's a nice-looking, competitive vehicle. Ford Ranger, $29,585. And the Chevy Colorado for $29,200. Those are all entry-level prices. So that's my review of the Toyota Tacoma. Now, in addition to that, I did want to mention the fact that Toyota said last week it planned to reveal the redesigned 2024 Tacoma on May 19th. A day later, the midsize pickups enthusiast base apparently decided that it was too long a wait, found a back door into the automaker's website and posted an image of the upcoming vehicle for all to see.
Ooh.
The leaked image was first posted on Tacoma4G.com and shows a white 2024 Tacoma 4x4 with black trim traversing through the sand.
And the FBI is looking into who
And
leaked
it
it.
looks pretty good, too.
The image
They'll
shows
never
the
find
pickup
them.
will adopt many styling cues from the larger Tundra, including the styling lines on its hood, lighting elements, and the front fascia. So got that to look forward to. Now, let's see. Today is the 13th, so a week.
6 more days.
Yeah, a week away. So that's my review of the 2023 Toyota Tacoma.
And you liked it.
I did. I really do. Even though that it's long in the tooth, new one's coming out, but it's still relevant to today.
I'm not keen on those gold wheels. Or
I
whatever.
liked it.
I've been seeing a lot of that on the road lately, and just I don't know.
That's just you. You're just an old fuddy.
Yeah,
Unless,
from the
unless they
80s.
unless they were on a Cadillac.
No, actually, I saw one in a Cadillac. It was awful.
The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream on Facebook, YouTube at InWheelTime.com, and podcasts are available at your fingertips on over a dozen of the most popular podcast outlets. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break. Everyone at the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, thank you for participating in the best cruise in around and look forward to seeing you again. You'll hear about the next cruise in date right here on In Wheel Time. Next time you're in the West Houston Energy Corridor area, be sure and stop in at the original Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex at I-10 and Highway 6 or the Katy location on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard. When passing through Beaumont or College Station, stop in and have Lupi's award-winning beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. There's always a celebration at Lupi Tortilla. Lupi Tortilla founder Stan Holt and his wife Sheila are winning racers on the NHRA drag racing circuit and have a collection of hot rods and classics that everyone appreciates. Look for them at the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In. The date will be announced soon and will once again be held at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex on 99 and Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. We'll give you all the details right here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show and online. Donations benefit God's Garage. We'll see you then. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available on the most popular podcast channels out there in 30-minute episodes. We realize our 3-hour live show can be difficult to catch in its entirety, so now you can listen every day to a convenient, fresh 30-minute episode. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and Audible, along with a dozen more. In Wheel Time has the most informative automotive guest interviews and new car reviews, along with popular features including Conrad's Car Clinic and This Week in Auto History, along with automotive news headlines. Our live broadcast airs every Saturday, 8 to 11 Central on InWheelTime.com, the iHeart app, and on YouTube. Be sure to say hello when we're broadcasting from the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise Inn, Autorama, and the Houston Auto Show, among others. Now, it's easier than ever to hear about all things automotive all week long. You're invited to join fellow car enthusiasts in becoming part of the ever-growing In Wheel Time Car Talk family. Don't forget those 30-minute podcast episodes on your favorite podcast channel. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.